Hey guys, Daggz here, getting ready to jump back into Vampyr. So where we last left off, I had just completed an upgrade and there was actually a notice after it had said the next night, so that's what I'm going to start off with, and then we're just going to get into the game and see where we wind up. I hope you enjoy it. Disappearances in Whitechapel. Reports of mysterious disappearances have escalated in the past weeks. It has reached the point where witnesses have to queue before recounting their testimonies to an officer. Although this phenomenon appears to be a nationwide occurrence, the statements of the last 24 hours have converged around a single area in the country, Whitechapel, London. Yes, once more, the despised and loathed East End is left to struggle on its own, continuously overlooked by the authorities, even while numerous families from this district report the unexplained disappearance of relatives and neighbors. What has happened to these missing individuals? Where are they? The only link between them seems to be their health and their need for urgent medical attention. Until recently, it was a local secret that the only place to get help was a discreet dispensary managed by unidentified Good Samaritans, but the place seems now to be closed, and no one has any news from that facility. Did the missing persons go to a more secret place? Have they been discreetly moved to a more official service? One day soon, the London City Council's Board of Health will have to answer for this new mystery. EW. I think that's the consequences to my choosing to have Dorothy forget everything, which I still feel bad about. Sorry for the hammering, guys. The upstairs neighbors are jackasses. So, what do we have to do? Meet Edgar in the hospital, convince... Alright, so let's go find the widow. Okay, so Whitechapel. I have to find... Who are you? Alright, how do I guess place marker. And hope I can read the map right.
Poor Dorothea. I'm so sorry.
Good evening, Mr. Petrescu. What are you doing here?
I could ask you the exact same question, Mr. Doctor. Now leave me alone.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Are you living on the streets, Mr. Petrescu?
And why not? Those who believe they'll be safe behind walls are blind.
What about your house?
My house is always open to any poor soul needing a roof. All my work here is lost now that Dorothea is gone, thanks to you.
I feel bad about that.
Why are you so aggressive?
I remember the night you came here and convinced me to open my door to you, sir. I'd like to punch you right on your chops.
Yeah, if it'll make you feel better.
What do you plan to do now that Nurse Crane is gone?
I'm not sure. Strange men came to see me after Dorothea's death, with strange weapons and very odd stories.
What kind of stories?
What kind of stories?
Stories all Romanian children know. It was as if I was home again. Vampires, Mr. Doctor. Vampires.
You believe them? Aren't you too old to hold a weapon or listen to scary stories?
Yes, I am old and alone and will die soon, but if these stories are true, maybe I have found myself another cause.
They are tree. You're talking to one now.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family.
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Intriguing. Let's see what this one does.
I heard what happened to Nurse Crane. How do you feel, Mr. Petrescu?
Everything was going well until you arrived. Dorothea helped people and will be sorely missed.
She was a good nurse.
I regret it too. I wish she'd continued working at the Pembroke Hospital. She was a good nurse.
So you put an end to the operation. Did you put an end to Dorothea as well?
You seem to...
Hey guys, sorry for the sudden drop in audio. Didn't realize that there was a hiccup here. Hopefully you guys can follow along with the subtitles. This is why subtitles are a great thing to have when you're playing. Hopefully you guys are also enjoying the storyline and the journey, and that you guys continue to follow along with me, and we'll see how this game turns out. And any feedback is absolutely appreciated. We look forward to your comments or your suggestions down below. We look forward to hearing from you guys. Enjoy the rest of the game. Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
This district seems to get uglier every year.
Slime is talking.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Oh, what's going on here?
Buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
Let's trade.
Right then. Show me what you have.
See what you got. Can I sell you anything? How many of them do I have? I think I have just one of each. Oh, no, I've got two of these. Alright. I don't think I need any of these right now. If I do, I can always come back to them. Alright. What about you? You got anything to say?
You again? What do you want this time?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now, and people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak, and there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I saw her wandering the streets. Yesterday, I think. She didn't recognize me. People say she's lost it. It's a sad story.
Yep.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Who are you? Oh, you're the
Most
journalist.
of them don't speak English. How am I supposed to interview?
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh. Why are you guys fighting each other? That's what I want to know. Who said that? Where are you at? Oh, there you are. You're over here. You were over here. Now you're gone. Pick that up. Nothing to pick up from you. Get my magpie on. Ooh, what's that? I saw shine. Oh, I've read those already. Oh, can I go over here? What was that? Quarantine contagious disease. No one shall enter or leave quarantine area without written permission of the local health authority. No person except an authorized employee of the health district shall alter, destroy, or remove this card. Anyone violating this regulation will be fined. Uh-oh. Does that mean I'm not allowed to run through here? I'm gonna do it anyway. Ooh. You know what? The gun is too janky. I'm just gonna stick with my sword. Pick up all of this. Pick that up. Pick that up. That's why they say it's highly quarantined. It's full of vampires. Ekans, whatever. Scowls. Cemetery.
Remorse and pain
Oh.
are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you.
I feel like I shouldn't be talking to you, but at the same time I should.
Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
He has horns.
This is your doing. You made me. Made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
Stop your riddles.
Riddles and rhymes. You took my life. Now you insult my mind.
Be stilled, my child. I bring understanding.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
That made no sense.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave.
Alright, I'll come back over
So
here.
the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity?
With horns.
Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Yeah, I have to go talk to Edgar anyway after.
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiao Shun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days, but for me it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
Why are you blaming yourself?
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
We all grieve in our own way.
I've seen many deaths in my life, and we all grieve in our own way. Some stay silent, or need to shout. Others need company, and some just can't stand it.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
I let my sister die.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I felt I should share it with you, since she is buried here too.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
Okay, you should go home.
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
Alright.
Goodbye for now.
Matthew. The world has gone completely mad.
Oh, there's stairs there. Haha. Can't run straight lines through the... Oh, look. Being attacked. Why are you guys popping up more frequently? Is it because I'm by the cemetery? Oops. Alright. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Where the heck is the exit to this place? You rats.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Come here, ratto. Nasty thing.
This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh, there you are. Do. Covered. Hideout unlocked. Oh, that's handy. Alright. Can I make anything? Review anything? What are you? Brisk blood sample. A small dose of brisk blood that can be used to create stamina serums for vampires. Analyze for blueprint. What is that? Stamina. I don't have the ingredients to make it. That's fine. Next. Refill. All right. Oh, this is going through the sewers. Anything I can pick up? All right.
I have this thirst for blood.
Oh, hello, Wolfie. Where'd you come from? Haha, I surprised you, and I won. Watery rich blood sample. Box of pills.
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
An unreadable text written in Braille alphabet with just the title in Roman alphabet. Cure for blindness.
I cannot enter.
The door requires a code to be opened. Okay. I'm intrigued. Probably gonna get lost in the sewers because directionals. Opium. The extermination of the rodents. No mercy, no excuse, no forgiveness. These are the simple rules all members of the club shall apply while dealing with skulls. Whenever you face one, exterminate it. Whenever you suspect a vampire of creating skulls, report him immediately to Fergal, Bansha, and myself. Skulls are a permanent threat to us, for these despicable creatures have no control of their appetite or their primitive instincts. The only case when a skull can be momentarily spared is as long as he can provide us really useful information for our projects. In any other case, London must be cleansed of these disgusting rodents. From the Law of Ascalon by Lord Redgrave, founder. Gonna go this way. Blood sample. Codeine. That's not a door. You look to lead outside. Are you... Is this back to where I came in? No, I don't think so. This looks different. I think it's a place where I came in. They should give a proper map to follow. Really, was that simple?
Are you deaf? Open it!
Of course it was.
I said stay away, sir. It ain't human! Kill it! No! He's dead! Come back here and fight!
Crunch, 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 crunch. Aluminium shard. Alright. Pembroke Hospital. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, what was that? Due to the influenza, this hospital full. Please go back home. That's not a good sign.
It's locked.
Long letter. Birmingham, 27th October. Hello, sis. How are things in the big city? Here in Brum, things are not so good. It seems the flu is here again, and we have many new cases of infection in the neighborhood. Do you remember Miss Scheller, the old drinking hag from the 3rd floor? She passed away 2 days ago, and her flat is already occupied again. Geez, you would have to pay me a huge amount of money to go sleep in the bed of which a woman died of the flu just a few hours ago. Sorry I did not take time to quickly answer your last letter. Between taking care of little Paul, Mom, Dad, and my job at the factory, I rarely find time to write to my favorite sister. By the way, my son says hello to his Auntie Pippa. You should see the little bugger, already driving me mad. And Mom says you bring back some of those marvelous cakes the next time you come back home. In your last letter, you told me you thought about quitting your job at the Pembroke Hospital. I have to tell you, Pip, you better think twice. There are always jobs at the factory, but wages are shit. And it's as boring as a day without a shag. Oh, I have a new fiance, and no, I'm no slut, you moral bitch. So if you really want to quit and do something more useful than counting the dead every morning, maybe you better stay in London and join the band you told me about. The Guard of Perwen, something like that. Never heard of them. But if they are, like you said, some sort of civil militia trying to make a difference, then maybe it's a good choice for you. Just be sure to let the others go in front. That's how my poor Billy got killed in France, by leading too many patrols. Bloody war. Anyway, come back as soon as you can and give me all the good news before that. I'm your affectionate sister, Lucy. Paul, Mom, and Dad. Wasn't that long. Reasonably long. Thinking about quitting the Pembroke Hospital. Alright. Anything else I can pick up? Ooh, shiny. There's Brannigan.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
That's Pippa.
Pippa, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
Be proud of what you've achieved, or the patients need you? Patients need you.
But you're doing something important here. For all the patients who need your help.
We save lives, sure. Each time we send a cured patient home, it's a relief beyond words. But since the epidemic, I feel so powerless.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
She's good.
Goodbye
for
Nurse
now.
Hawkins.
The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, Nurse?
I will be fine, as soon as I can get some sleep.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this And do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
Okay.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No. I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Oh my!
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but... well, maybe it was him.
Anything else I can ask you? No. No.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
And you are who
Leave him,
exactly?
Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
Alright. Hey, Edgar, we should have a talk. Give me the option to talk to you. Oh, I have to be in front of you to do it?
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
Confidence must... Do you fear your reputation?
Are you worried about the situation or your reputation? Now is not the time to think of oneself.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
I'll protect you.
Rest assured, I will protect you. And your staff.
McCallum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Alright. Gonna talk to him.
If you don't mind, I have a few questions.
I'd be delighted to help you if I'm able.
Alright. What happened while I was absent?
What exactly happened here while I was absent?
Hampton turned. Quite violently, as it happened. Lurking about. Attacked Miss Jones. To say he created quite a commotion would be an understatement.
Who informed the guard?
How did the guard of Priwen come to hear of this?
McCallum has spies everywhere. He will jump at any opportunity to disparage the Brotherhood and show his contempt.
Are you sure it was Hampton that killed Miss Jones?
There was blood everywhere, but no body. And you know the state she was in. I fear for what he did with her. Hopefully he just hid the corpse.
Who was he?
Who was that man in your office?
Geoffrey McCallum, actual leader of the Guard of Priwen. I suspect he's the man behind the rebirth of this old and dusty society.
What do they hope to achieve?
Their ultimate goal is the eradication of all vampires in the country. They see you as a threat to mankind, Jonathan.
They know I'm here now, don't they?
I can guarantee one thing. The Guard of Priwen would never dare to attack the hospital while I'm in charge here.
I just recently met the strangest creature in Whitechapel. He was immense. He mocked me and accused me of hypocrisy.
Perhaps it was a skull. London's streets are overflowing with them these days.
Nah, Big Boy was not a skull.
It was a vampire, all right. But what kind, I'm not sure. He was large and very fast.
If you find anything more about this creature, the Brotherhood would greatly appreciate any information you could spare.
He was observing me with the obvious intent to do me harm. His very presence evoked a palpable sense of menace.
You need to be careful, Jonathan. You've no idea what this creature really is.
I recently tried to enter a church. It has been a very unpleasant experience.
The Brotherhood's research on the matter of faith and vampirism has proved somewhat insubstantial, to say the least.
Is this proof that I'm cursed in the eyes of the divine?
The wrath of the Almighty? There's no way of knowing. It could be subconscious guilt, or irrational fear, or deep-seated beliefs.
It's hard to explain in terms of science, that's for sure.
I'm sure Lady Ashbury will have far greater insight into this matter than little old me.
Anything else I can ask?
Thank you, Edgar.
Alright.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Alright. Let's make some more. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two. All right. That's all I can make for that. Upgrade. Can I upgrade it? Yes, I can. Can't upgrade it any further yet. What about you? Can upgrade this. And upgrade it to this. Cannot upgrade it to that yet. That, two-hand, Oh, what was that on the skulls? Oh, the extermination letter. Alright, so clear that. Now where do I have to go? I have to go down here. Okay, so cross that bridge. Let's hope I don't get lost again. Scoot down this way.
Stupid fucking beast! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Was it just the two of you? Oh no, there's your third. Alright. Can I go in here? No. Alright. See which way I gotta go. Over there. Marker over here.
Another line of the glorious battalion of Pembroke. Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that cabinet brother.
Talk to her in a minute. Damn, I missed that conversation, and I should have finished checking that room.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Nothing like this would have happened if we'd had enough staff and proper shifts.
So you don't think the blame is ours?
We all hold fast here, Dr. Reed. Our methods may differ, but we are all trying to make a difference.
I've asked those already.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
How do I... They really should put a button prompt when you have the opportunity to eavesdrop on somebody, instead of just highlighting it a different color. It's really not a user-friendly mechanic.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Can you tell me anything about the recent commotion in the hospital?
It's a tragedy, pure and simple. The hospital is meant to be a safe haven to all. We failed the people who trusted us with their care.
Do you think I should not have brought Mr. Hampton back here?
It's not your fault. You rescued that poor soul. It was the Christian thing to do. But we should have noticed his instability.
No, I already asked him about that.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman, butchered by some savage scalp.
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm at least partially responsible. The man, the Scal, I brought him here.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent, for there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols, or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was a big boy.
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain, and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Duly noted. Don't want to piss them off.
Have you embraced this woman, like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they ask.
His name was Renfield!
Thank you, my lady. I hope to see you again soon.
That's awesome! Alright, time to go find the big red Y over here. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Hey, who are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed of the Pembroke Hospital. May I be of assistance?
Dr. Reed. So it's you who saved my friend Oswald. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
And you are?
Newton Blight. Oswald and I recently returned from the war.
Why do you stay here now that Mr. Thatcher's back?
It's complicated. Since the war, Oswald's been really nervous with the idea of entering any hospital. And me, I've got my own issues.
Can you speak about them?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one, they turn me. Just want to run. It's that fear that stopped me from going after Oswald when he left.
What can you tell me about the war, Mr. Blight? If you want to speak about it, of course.
War was... well, you know, sir. The stench of death everywhere. Your mates lying bleeding in the mud. Just praying to make it through and get home. Bloody nightmare.
I fought in France, too. I served as a field surgeon, but it was not uncommon to repel an assault, especially at night.
Yeah. The first time I was wounded, I had to protect the infirmary from hostiles. Twice.
Did you know Oswald Thatcher before the war?
No. We met in the battlefield. I think we were in the same boat to France. We've stuck together ever since.
You are always welcome at the Pembroke Hospital. As a former officer, I'll be honored to welcome a fellow veteran.
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs some help.
Perhaps he needs to reach that decision by himself.
Could you speak to him? He doesn't usually listen to doctors, but perhaps because you've been through it, you can talk him round.
Sure. Why not?
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself.
But no less dangerous.
Clay Cox, New Blight. If I see your friend, I'll convince him to go into the hospital. But for now... Zoom, zoom, zoom.
It's on to us!
How can I not be onto you? You're walking around with torches. Bullets. Smile. Alright.
Steady, boys! We've got one of them here! Ah! Filthy piece of shit! I'll back you! You're mine, vermin!
Ow. Blood sample, shillings. I hear screaming, but I don't know from where. Do not cough in public. Oh, we've read that already. Ooh, get off of me. Limehouse Dock. Who are you?
Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr.
Another
Jonathan
rude boy.
Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
So, tell me about your gang, then.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The Wet Boot Boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that.
That's what I'll do.
But, nah.
He'll be cockroach.
You've been a soldier. I can respect that.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control this borough.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here like everywhere else.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient.
More efficient? Really? You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
The sewer dog's fault, they say. Then the gangs, the epidemics, everyone's throwing the blame.
Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment, Miss...
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
Ah, she's a shopkeep.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
She's healthy. Can leave. I'm not at all interested right now. See if I can come back to it.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of you.
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new low.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence and threats.
Good to know.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Can I see what you have to sell?
As long as you have money, I'll show you all I have.
Bullets, shotgun shells, handle, trigger. You know what? Let's get one of each, because then maybe I can upgrade. Alright. I'll keep that for now. Oh, I didn't even need to buy those. I had some already. Aha! Alright. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. That's good for now. Torn off page of a diary. For looking away when they mock my color, I hate myself. For crying like a girl when they insult me, I hate myself. For swearing like a boy when they're gone, I hate myself. For hating my parents, I hate myself. For smiling when customers call me Sad Brina, I hate myself. For never finding the courage to tell Tom how I truly feel, I hate myself.
Foolish girl and her pre-principles. Got no idea.
What's going on here?
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Here, can I talk to you?
Whatever do you mean?
I'm a tracker of these creatures.
If your name is Ichabod Crane, I'm gonna laugh.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth? Claws? Murders by night? Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey I hunt, milady.
Your last name had better be Crane.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you define as a strange event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton.
Ugh.
Vampire hunter
I'ma call you
extraordinaire
Crane.
and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist. And they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Oh boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
This guy reminds me of Gilderoy Lockhart.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Ichabod Crane a la Gilderoy Lockhart.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Oh boy.
Oh, that was the one that I just
It's a
chose.
shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to
Too
protect
busy comparing him to Lockhart.
The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour. But I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
Goodbye. And good hunting, Mr. Throgmorton.
Are they stupid or something?
I think drink no longer stirs.
Come in and talk to Tom.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too. I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But I like her, for sure.
What is bothering you, then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
The important thing is I find him. Quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts. Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
No one feels safe. Why not go? Why not go?
If you're uncertain about your safety here, the docks might not be the right place for you.
I got responsibilities. And it's not like I got the money to move anywhere else anyway.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colorful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer me directly?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom can decide who to speak to and what he'll say to them.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Alright.
Perhaps I should shut the turquoise for a time.
There should be a hideout just over here, I think it was. Maybe? I'm not sure.
I so love to gaze at the stars.
Who are you?
Hello, boy.
Hello. Good evening.
Did I scare you? You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that people prefer to avoid me.
Well, I won't. I'm a doctor.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
What can you tell me about this region?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's pretty easy.
Why do people avoid you?
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a bit of a bad luck charm.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
What do you do around here, Rufus?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the Wet Boot Boys and the Communists. They both feel they should run the docks.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
Do you need help?
A real doctor caring about me. That's a first. I feel like a real person.
A real doctor treats everyone the same, Rufus.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you alone? Where is your family?
I don't have any. My parents are dead.
So you have no home? You're sleeping rough?
No. I mean, yes. I live on the streets. I have no home.
You should be careful, Rufus. There are things that lurk in the shadows of this city. Things that prey on the lonely and the desperate.
Well, I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so considerate?
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
Do you know a man who lives in this part of town? A man named Sean Hampton. I'm looking for him.
Sorry, sir. I don't know a lot of folks around here. Most prefer to avoid me.
Well, I don't think you should talk to him. He may be very sick.
Thanks for the tip. You might want to check the Turquoise Turtle. It's a pub not far from here. The barkeep knows everyone in these parts.
Thank you.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
So love to gaze at the stars.
Alright.
The fog's been hiding them of late.
35 feet. Who are you?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions. Or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
Nope. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency, then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
Wow, jerk face much. Did I miss a prompt?
What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency, then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
Oh no, I didn't miss one. He's got a cold. Oh. I'll treat him after.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. It's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
Do you require medical assistance?
That's something I didn't expect to hear again. A doctor concerned with the health of his patients. Yeah. I could use some help. On several matters, in fact.
I don't know which kind of doctor you're used to dealing with, but it's a doctor's purpose to heal people.
And is it your purpose as well, Mr. Reed? I would say it's a convenient way for gaining people's trust.
Any chance you can help me find Sean Hampton?
The sad saint? Why would you talk to that cunt?
Actually, that's confidential.
Really? Well, go ask someone else then. I'm sure Tom Watts will gladly answer you.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
I don't want to get his necklace for his mom, but at the same time I do. Oh, there it is. Is this the hideout? Yes, it is. Alright. So... let's recraft one of them. I think that's 4 of everything. Good enough for now. Can I upgrade you yet? No, I'm missing pieces. Alright. Let's upgrade. Okay, now that we've done some upgrades, let's go find the Sad Saint. Is there any way to get across directly, or do I have to go back up and around? Oh, I guess we'll see. I should be able to whoosh across. Whoosh. Ooh, hi. Why do you have a werewolf in your area? You guys don't like vampires, but you don't mind werewolves? That's curious. Locked. Okay, so there's nothing up here that I can get at. So he should be just over here.
Another disgusting ghoul did it, don't you think?
I don't think so. The wounds are clean, it was methodical.
A freaking vampire, then?
I can't say, but whatever did this carefully avoided the arteries. We've found ourselves a bloody artist.
Seems like the guard of Prewen is on Sean Hampton's trail, too.
Want some of this?
Alright. Ooh, hot. Ooh, that hurts. Common pistol Parabellum. A reliable semi-automatic pistol often used by German officers, able to fire 3 rounds in quick succession. Cool. Blinker Scowl. Guard the freedom of us all. Join the Royal Fleet today. Would you like to know more? Ask your nearest recruiting office. I think we've read that already.
cannot enter. I have this thirst for blood.
So act on it, just stop mentioning it. Oh, I was in here already. I need to go back out the other way. And then zip across this way. Maybe. Oh no. It's on this side. So I've got to go through here or around, I guess. That's the locked door that I was just at. Lower Thames Bank is where I just was.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Can't get me while I'm up here. I saw a shiny. Bullets. Alright, going through here.
I'd head back if I were you, sir.
No.
Boys, we've got one of
There you go. Watch your mouth. Join ranks. Alright. Western docks, not where I want to be. I need to be on the eastern docks. Can I open you from this side? Yes. Can I go in here? No. War munitions volunteers, Britons working together, skilled workers in engineering and kindred trades, enrolled today as war munitions volunteers. Support the men at the front with a plentiful supply of munitions you will not suffer and wager. Get into the factory line and feed the firing line. Where are you? Night shelter vicinity. Oh. There's an umbrella.
I can't protect the whole city. It's hard enough to cover the docks by myself.
Who are you? Are you who I need to talk to?
Good evening, Mr. Throgmorton.
Oh, no.
Dr. Reed, can I be of any assistance? Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
Hello, Gilderoy.
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter. They're more of a sanitary militia.
So you hunt alone? That sounds risky.
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
And yet you can't tell when there's one right in front of your face.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour. But I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
And yet you're in the middle of that.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal. You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people. Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
Okay, new hint available.
Goodbye, and good hunting, Mr. Throgmorton.
It's ironic that he calls himself Hunter and yet knows nothing of the vampire standing in front of his face. Anti-vampire poster. Danger is closer than you think. They are already here. Do not let them take the kingdom. See a vampire, seek for help. Ichabod Throgmorton, expert vampire hunter. Looks like he used a Nosferatu poster.
Protect the whole city.
Oh, crap.
It's hard enough to cover the docks by myself.
It's fine.
Your kind's not welcome here, sir.
Talk to Sean.
Come now, Lottie. There is still much work to do.
Ha, there he is.
Why the long face, Doctor?
It looks like we both have changed a lot. I must confess, it saddens me, Sean.
Put your faith in the Lord, Doctor. He has a plan for all of us. We may not always see it, but he does.
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you, Sean.
Ask what you will. As the Lord is my shepherd, I will not speak a lie to you.
He actually kind of sounds like the guy who plays Conor from Boondock Saints.
Why return here?
This is my home. These people are my flock. You will always find me where I am needed.
I'm going to call you Conor from now on.
And what about William Bishop? He tried to take care of you. But this hunger, this thirst, cannot be restrained.
Alas, poor William. He had a good soul, but was weak in spirit. He could not shake the thirst for booze, never mind blood. But have faith. My will is far stronger than his.
Wonders never cease. Scal managing an asylum.
And what of you? A vampire doctor? Meals laid out before you. Yet you restrain.
Aren't you afraid of what you've become?
We are blessed, Doctor. Can't you see it? The Lord has made us able to walk amongst the plague and aid those that need it.
Do you think this is a blessing when God's own house and holy symbols repel you?
If that is your burden, Doctor, so be it. But I do not fear the cross, nor am I forced to take the life of another. My kind doesn't share your imperfections.
What now?
But you must drink blood now to survive.
No, not your scripture. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So saith the Lord. I only need to eat flesh, no blood.
That's not a big distinction.
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do such a thing?
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was an angry, spiteful woman, she was one of God's creatures. I have nothing but love for all he has made.
But you were close to her.
Of course. But she was lost, separated from the fold. She did not see the hand of the divine in my blessed condition.
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank, south from here. There you'll find all the proof you need.
Great, I gotta go back to the sewers. I'm intrigued.
Very well. You have definitely intrigued me. I hope you're right, Sean.
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I surrender myself to your judgment.
Okay.
I hope Giselle will pull through.
Alright, let's go to the hideout and we'll call it there.
The wet boots shouldn't be
Oh, new hideout. Or not necessarily a new one, but helpful nonetheless. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm probably not gonna upgrade anything just yet, but hope you guys are enjoying the series and the journey that I'm on. And any questions or comments, throw them down below. We would love to hear your feedback and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye guys!